I love the show. I love you guys. Fucking, let's go Jets. Jets, 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 Jets.
Oh, I'm beating you with my mind. And I can still dominate, I think.
Dane, you're a legend, bro.
Good morning, Jet fans. Good morning, Mike. What's up, dude?
Good morning, Dano. How you doing, my man? I'm excited to get into it today. I know we had some technical difficulties last night, but we're ready to go, ready to rock and roll and get this thing on the road here.
Hell yeah, dude. And if you're out there watching, I don't know if you were here last week, but this is the second installment of new show that Mike and I are going to do weekly where dude, he helps me break down that tape, man, because I'm no whiz kid, so I appreciate his knowledge and willingness to do this. So without further ado, let's get into it. I know you have well, before we get into it, do you want to just maybe give me your broad thoughts on like the game itself? Like, how did you think we did in comparison to week one? Like, you don't have to get super specific,
Yeah, sure.
but like,
Yeah. So last week, I don't know if anybody else had watched the video from last week. It was kind of like we saw a lot of good, or I'm sorry, some good. We saw a lot of bad and some ugly, right? This week was kind of a toss up between some good and some bad, right? And we're going to get into it in the tape. But we're making progress. I think, although the first two quarters weren't very good on offense and defense, the second half was really when we started to come on. So I'm pretty excited to get into this tape here to kind of go over everything and kind of show you guys why we should be excited going forward throughout the entirety of the season.
Love it. Love it. So, yeah, and you said we're going to do defense first or offense?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the defense here first.
All right, let's get into it here.
I'll go ahead and I'll pull up the clips here.
Yep. Let's see here.
Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
There we go. Perfect. We are good.
All right. All right, awesome. Yeah, so like I said, guys, we had a lot of good plays here this game against the Titans. We also had a lot of bad plays. Why don't we go ahead and start off with something good that we did, right? So right off the rip here on this play in the first quarter, we're actually going to see Will McDonald get a sack here, right? And Will McDonald is actually standing up right here. Can you see my cursor, Dano?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. So you're gonna see Will McDonald right here. And one thing that I want you guys to notice is Quinnen Williams is on the outside. Usually, Will McDonald is obviously an edge rusher, and he would be on the outside. But for this play in particular, we have Quinnen Williams trying to make a mismatch here on that left tackle there and put him at edge. So I want you guys to take a look at Will McDonald and see kind of what he does here. So he's standing up. He drops back, and then boom, he sees Levis try to step up, and he's running right up, and he recognized that right away, and he uses speed to be able to get to him. And one thing I want to mention too is that last week, and we're going to get into these plays as well in terms of how a lot of these plays were kind of similar. A lot of these formations and these sets were similar to last week. But I want you to notice Mosley right here kind of stepping up, being lined up to that center, which we didn't really see that a lot last week. So Mosley kind of stepped up a little bit, number 57 here in the middle, and he kind of plugged that gap right there. McDonald drops back. He sees Levis stepping up, and he goes up and gets that sack. So great job by McDonald there.
He really he really shows
go
his
ahead.
wingspan on wrapping up Levis on that, because he wasn't exactly
For sure.
right on him, but like, dude, that's one thing I noticed when I saw this play is how long his arms are and his ability and willingness to use them. Like, an arm tackle is not exactly the easiest thing.
No, definitely not. It is not the easiest thing. I'm very excited about Will McDonald. I know a lot of us, including myself, weren't too happy with the pick initially, but there is no denying his pass rush ability. The fact that he can just get to the quarterback as a pass rusher is just tremendous. It really is. Can he, obviously do a little bit better in the run game? Of course, he's going to have to gain a little bit of weight. He's going to have to gain 10, 15 pounds at least to be able to maximize his potential there, especially in that run game. But in terms of pass rushing, like there aren't many players in the NFL that are going to be able to have his skill set when it comes to the pass rush. I think that he's going to easily have 10 sacks this year as long as he stays healthy, for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, man. So this next play here, what I want you guys to notice, last week, what Dano and I talked about was there were such large gaps on that defensive line. And actually the last play when we just had the sack by Will McDonald there, and then we had Quinnen Williams on the outside, CJ Mosley, as you notice, he kind of filled that gap over the center. Whereas this play right here, let's count them. So you have a tight end here. That's 1. Then you have 2, 3. The center is 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 blockers right here. Now this guy right here could very well come out, maybe kind of chip the shoulder here of the edge rusher. Go up
Tyler Boyd, I believe, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's Tyler Boyd. Okay, yeah. So either way, you have him in line as a blocker, and so you essentially have 7 blockers versus 1, 2, 3, and then you have McKinley all the way over here as 4. So look at these gaps, how big these gaps are. This is not what you want to see at all, right? And if you do see them, you want these linebackers to be stepping up or at least coming closer to fill these gaps, right? So let's take a look at what happens when you don't fill these gaps.
Yeah.
Nice little gain there. Now, I mean, did he get 20, 30 yards or take it to the house? No, but what he did was he was able to gain some yardage there because those gaps were so big.
Facts. And that's a problem we saw last week is we had the same spacing, but just the linebackers,
Right.
like you showed us, were more reactive instead of proactive. But overall, I mean, I think our linebackers really made massive strides between week 1 and week 2. And
For sure.
It didn't start right out the gate, though, in this game. That's for sure.
Definitely. Now, this next play here is, as you can see, that the gaps are much better. At least it looks like it's much better on this play. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the standard amount of offensive linemen there, and then you have 2 backs. You have essentially a fullback there, and you have the halfback behind him. Right now, we have 4 defenders here on the line. Then you have 2 linebackers here. You have 2 high safeties there, and then you have corner, and corner. Right now, let's see what happens on this play here. I want you to take a good look at right here, CJ Mosley.
Nice.
Yeah. So, although Mosley saved that tackle, it seemed as though, technically Quincy Williams and CJ Mosley were going to be going after the, this target here, but Quincy Williams slipped there, and then Mosley was not able to, prevent him from catching that ball. Now I want you to watch CJ Mosley's toe. I think this is where he got injured here. as he came down, he hit the turf. See that? See how hard he hit that turf on his toe there?
I do.
Can you see that?
We see it
I'm
dragging.
Yeah. So that dirt should not be coming up that much. This is not turf. I'm pretty sure this is grass. So he hit his toe really hard on that grass for that to do that. So I think this is where he got injured there.
Interesting. Good eye on that. Yeah, sprained toe.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's take a look at the next play here. Actually, this might be the same exact play. This is the same play from a different angle. But remember what I was talking about the gaps? There is a little bit of a gap here, but you have Mosley and Williams right here, not too far off. What we were seeing before last week, we were seeing them, 5, 6, 7 yards off the ball, which is insane. If you can't stop the run. Now they're creeped up a little bit, so that's what we want to see. Yeah, it's the same play, and actually we can see C.J. Mosley a little bit better here.
Nice.
Yeah, watch how hard he hits that. Look at that. Yeah, he hit his toe really, really bad there, or his foot.
I have a question for you, and
yeah, sure.
we can also get into it, at the end. But I don't know how much you keyed in on it, but I felt like before Mosley went down, we were still already seeing improvements out of him since week 1. But it seems like a lot of people either weren't watching him or just are assuming that his week 1 performance bled all the way into his injury. Now, like I said, you may not have keyed in on it, but I do know, I double checked the metrics to see if, it lined up with what I felt, and it clearly did. His tackling went from a 30 grade to a 70 some grade. But, and like I said, if you didn't see it, it's no big deal, but I'm curious what you thought of him in the first half of this game, and whether you think that once he does come back, if he's going to be a liability more like week 1, or if you think that he'll get somewhere near where he's been in the past. It doesn't have to be exact.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So week 1 wasn't, he obviously he wasn't his best. This game, it seemed to me like Mosley is getting up there in age, right? He's 32 years old. First and foremost, it seems to me that Mosley has lost a step in terms of his speed. Now he does make that up in terms of his intelligence and his, essentially his command of the defense, right? And he's a great tackler. He adds over 100 tackles per season for the Jets, which is tremendous. Yeah, so I'm in agreement with you there in terms of his playability from this week from last week is phenomenal. But again, you can definitely tell that he's lost a step over from prior years. And one guy who has really stepped up in his stead is Jamie Sherwood, who has done a fantastic job, to be honest. And we're actually going to get into him as well in terms of his playability, right? It seemed like after Mosley went down, it seemed like we didn't really miss a step in terms of at the linebacking position, and we're going to get into it as well.
Or communication. I didn't see very many breakdowns. So that's really key, because that everyone would say that's the biggest benefit of Mosley was not even the athleticism, right, but the making sure everybody's on task and on assignment. Dude, coming out of halftime, we had 4 out of 5 3-and-outs. So there was no breakdowns.
Right.
But
yeah, exactly. Cool. Listen, this these linebackers have been in this. They've been on this team for so long now. I mean, Jamie Sherwood is in his, I want to say his 4th year. He's actually going to be a free agent next year, and then Quincy Williams I think this is his 3rd or 4th year with the team as well here. So they've been here for a while. C.J. Mosley obviously groomed them. Robert Saleh's defense, so Jeff Ulbricht's defense has been able to groom them and be able to train them up. So they are really ready In my opinion, I thought CJ Mosley was going to be gone this offseason. I was actually shocked when we retained him and actually extended him or restructured him for an additional 2 years. I was actually shocked that happened. I thought that they were ready for Quincy Williams to step up into the CJ Mosley role, and then they were going to move Sherwood into the Quincy role. But again,
Dude,
I'm actually,
now
I'm really proud of. Go ahead.
We're committed to him not only this year. Now we're committed to him next year. I think we only save 5. Like he's guaranteed 9 out of his 14 or something similar. Like you're not going to cut him to save $5 million. So in some way, he's going to have a role in 2025. I just don't know what that will be. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. But in the meantime, I'm really excited for Sherwood, and I think Mosley, obviously he hurt his toe there. Maybe I would not play him on Thursday night. Definitely not risking him to hurt himself even more, especially since Sherwood is playing well, and we're going to get into it more here. But this next play, Dano. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. No, I was just going to say, anyone who's on the fringe, like if you don't need them, 10 days off after this game. Just remember that. For sure.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a mini buy essentially.
Yep.
All right, so this next play here is a play that I am really happy for because Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbricht's defense is, not really blitz heavy, right? A lot of us Jets fans, we got super excited when we had Rex Ryan run our defense. We were super excited when Todd Bowles ran the defense in terms of being able to get after the quarterback with our blitzes and throw those exotic blitzes on opposing offenses, right? Rob Saleh's defense and Jeff Ulbricht's defense is not like that. We're not really the blitz heavy team. We're not throwing exotic blitzes, right? For the most part. Now this play right here is what you want to see when you're trying to stop the run. Okay. So what I want you to pay attention to is the linebackers, right? So take a look at, and actually that play right there was Michael Carter coming in on a blitz. So as I say that Rob Saleh doesn't really do exotic blitzes, that was one right there, right? So let's take a look at this formation here. We've got 4 defensive linemen on the front. The gaps they're kind of big, but they're not overly excessive in terms of the size of the gaps there. And then you have Carter. I'm sorry, that's Chuck Clark right there. You have Carter coming in right here. Carter's going to be the one that blitzes, okay? You have the 2 linebackers here on this side. You have Chuck Clark in the back. And you're going to see Carter come in and make this play.
Nice.
So that's what you really want to see. You want to see some of those blitzes, okay? And again, let's talk about Sherwood, right? Sherwood has just been phenomenal in CJ Mosley's absence, okay? Take a look at what he does here. He recognizes the run. Oh, Mosley's still playing on this play, but even though he might be playing hurt here. But I want you to take a look at Sherwood here on the right, okay?
Oh, nice.
So Sherwood,
having all 3 of them. Nice.
So Sherwood gets off the block and boom, takes out who was it, Pollard there. So again, this guy is doing things that us Jets fans haven't really seen for a little bit, So he's making some plays. He's doing the right thing. He's making plays there, and I think he's going to be really good for us this year. So again, he did a phenomenal job there, getting off that block and making that tackle, right? So this next play here is another play where we're just not aggressive enough. The defense is just not being aggressive. So we do something like that one play, right, where we're aggressive. We're sending Michael Carter in, right, or we have Jamin Sherwood being able to have that heads-up play. But then we have plays like this where it's like we're not being aggressive enough, and we just essentially let them do what they want. And then we have Chuck Clark there, force a penalty on that horse collar. But again, so you see this gap here. On this side, it's not too bad, and you have Mosley kind of, hovering over that gap, right? Same thing for here. You have Quincy here. But you have Tony Adams on this side. You have Tony Adams on this side, who is a safety, and they're going to take that mismatch all day long.
Yes, they are.
They pulled their line back. So look at this. You have two linemen right here. They're doubling up Quinnen. You have two offensive linemen against who was that? Chuck Clark, and then who's that? Eccles.
Yeah, man.
So you have a.
Can you take it back real quick? I want to see what the hell happened
sure.
to Quincy Williams. I think he over pursued or what? Okay, the tight end takes out Quincy, I think.
So I think Quincy was trying to go inside like that. You see that?
Gotcha.
So that wasn't too bad by Quincy.
No.
My issue here is that you have the gaps are so bad. You have who is that? McGregor. You've got McGregor here, essentially taking on one lineman on his own, and then these two linemen over here, the right guard. I think it's a right guard and the center.
They're pulling. They're pulling with the head of steam.
That's a center. That's a center and a left guard. They're pulling to the left, and then now you have a cornerback and a safety trying to take on two offensive linemen. That can't happen. You can't allow that to happen.
No.
And then you got Chuck Clark at the end there, trying to go in and make that horse collar, which was really bad.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not being not being aggressive enough, right?
Right.
All right. So this next play here, this is actually more like it. All right. This next play here is good. I want you guys to take a quick look at this. The formation here, the setup here. So they were trying to go for an inside run, right? Let's take a look at this formation here on the defensive front. Okay, so you see these gaps? There's between the defensive linemen. They're not very big. That's what you want to see. You want to see the gaps not very big, right?
Yes.
Then you have your linebackers here. You have actually I think that might be McKinley right there. It's hard to tell, but what you want to see is you don't want to see the big gaps, and we have here smaller gaps, which is good. They try an inside run, and there we go. We're able to stop that run there.
Saw
Oh, did I lose you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I see you. I wanted to ask you a question real quick.
Sure.
Looks like, just from judging from the selection of plays so far, I don't know, it might have just been coincidence, but saw a lot of McKinley in this, at least first half. Is there like, when you see McKinley on the edge like that, never with his hand in the dirt, always like just crouched, is that a preference thing? Is that like a strategic with the formation? Do you know?
A lot of so I was actually wrong. It was actually Quincy here, 56 on the edge. But to answer your question,
before.
But to answer your question though, sometimes it's preference. Sometimes it's also scheme in terms of if they're standing up, they're able to kind of drop back quicker. It's to tell, if you got your hand in the dirt, you're basically telling the offense that you're going to be rushing the passer, or you're trying to stop the run there. But if you're standing up, you're able to kind of do both. You can either run in, like for example, Quincy's right here. He's got his heel. You see the heel is up like that. He can either run in to rush the passer or stop the run, or he can drop back. So same thing for if McKinley was doing that, or that one play, the very first play with Will McDonald on the sack, he was standing up, and that's exactly what he did. Let me go back actually, and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you have right here, you have McDonald who's standing up, and what he's going to do is he's going to drop back into coverage first. So obviously there's no running back here. So the very first thing he's going to do is he's gonna drop back. See, he's dropping back, and then he's gonna notice Levis trying to pull up, and then now he's running towards him. Right. So that's why.
Do you think he's spying Levis on that? Do you think that's his responsibility, or do you think it's more just
Yeah.
a zone in the center?
I think it's both. But I think you're exactly right. I think it's kind of killing two birds with one stone on that particular play. I do think that he was kind of on for that particular play. His job was to kind of watch Levis there, make sure he doesn't run. But at the same time, there was no back in the backfield, so he didn't really have to worry about anyone coming out aside from the one guy that was near him. I think there was a tight end there, but other than that, he did a great job on that play. But again, if you're standing up can be really helpful in terms of if you're going to be dropping back or if you're going to be rushing. You could do either or.
Love it.
All right, so we talked about this play, right? Yeah, so same thing. Again, the gaps aren't big at all here. For some reason, there is a nice little gap here. I'm not sure why. I don't know if I can't really see the whole entire screen there. But again, it was really good. It was an inside run. Could they have attacked that gap? They probably could have. But, at this point, we're kind of nitpicking in terms of the gap distances there. But that's what you like to see. You like to see smaller gaps. I do not want to see those huge gaps like we saw against the 49ers. And even a little bit in this game, okay? Let's see here. So this next play, again, is kind of the same exact thing. And I think is that McKinley at the top there? Let's see. Yeah, that's McKinley. So like you were saying before, Dano, look, McKinley is standing up right there on the left side.
Yep.
So McKinley's right here. He's standing up. You got there is a large gap here, but Quincy is actually closer toward the line of scrimmage, which is what you want to see. You got Sherwood on this side. So even though there's a large gap here, Quincy would be able to cover this gap really quickly. And then obviously McKinley's going to be going in. So this is what you want to see. And look, who is that? They sent Michael Carter in again. Did you notice that?
I didn't until you mentioned it, but I love that because dude's like a little linebacker, and I just think he's so versatile.
Yeah, man, I like this play a lot. So they sent Michael Carter in again, running back out around him, which is fine because look, Sherwood is right there, ready to make that play. Phenomenal. That's what you really want to see out of this defense. We want to be able to stop the run. We want to be able to get better at the run every single week, and which I do think it's going to get better. But this is what we want to see. We want to see the smaller gaps, and we want to, if we have to blitz and we have to throw in Michael Carter for here and there for a play, then so be it.
And hopefully, obviously, we all are a little annoyed at the performance of Chuck Clark, but he has in the past been known to do exactly what you just said MC2 was doing. So I'm hoping that he can knock some of the rust off. I mean, dude, him and AVT and Rogers, three guys that did not play a lot of football last year. So we got AVT making strides. We got Rogers. Hell, he's an alien. And then when we get Clark, dude, if you could do that with Clark and MC2, in the same play, they don't know which, dude, that I just think it opens up our defense. It really does.
Oh, for sure. It's huge. I think Chuck Clark, even though he didn't have his best game, again, like you said, he's coming back from injury, season-ending injury last year, was out the entirety of the year. It might take him a little bit to kind of get up to speed there. But whether it's Chuck Clark or Michael Carter or whoever, if you're able to send him in on a blitz once in a while, then that's optimal for you, especially if you cannot stop the run.
Facts.
So this next play here, this is gonna be the Brennan Eccles interception. And man, can we just talk about Brennan Eccles here for a second before we watch this clip? This dude, man, year in and year out, he's been with us for 4 years now at this point or so. And this guy, he's been a backup primarily, But man, when his number has been asked to be called, this dude comes in and he makes plays. I think last year, I think it was against the Eagles or the Chiefs. One of those games last year, Eccles really stepped up as well. When I think either Sauce was hurt or Reed was hurt, I can't really remember who exactly was hurt that game. Maybe both of them were actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
the Philly game.
Really,
I think
maybe it was the Philly game. Yeah, he stepped up and just really played well. But I digress. Yeah. So here we go again in terms of what you want to see defensively. The gaps aren't too big, which is what you want to see. And then look at the bottom of the screen there. You're going to see Brandon Eccles make this interception there, and he does a phenomenal job. I'll roll one more time. And this is another angle there.
Yeah, this was a phenomenal job, especially when the play on the ball was. I don't know how he came up with it, to be honest.
Yeah, this was a phenomenal catch by him. I think it's Treylon Burks there that was the target. I thought Treylon Burks caught the ball. When I saw Eccles walking away with it, I was shocked. I did not know how that dude caught the ball, but it was a great play. And to be honest with you guys, I think that play right there pretty much sealed the what is it called? The turning point for us in the game. I think that play right there kind of woke everyone up. I was like, listen, dude, like we need to win this game. Like we had this guy coming in and with that takeaway there. And I think this was after the Will Levis whole lateral and fumbling it. And then Will McDonald got countered for that sack. But man, between that and between this interception, it really changed the dynamic of the whole game. And that's when we were able to finally wake up. Or at least for the most part. There were still some pretty bad plays, but
back-to-back drives, we turned them over, and this was one of them. I love that because it was a turning point.
For sure. So this play right here is another good play when you are filling the gap, right? So again, let's see here. I'll pull it back.
Kinlaw with the catch from behind. Dude, it's another guy that I'd like to give flowers to. Where's he at in pre-snap? Okay, I think I see him.
I think Kinlaw is right there, I think. Big boy. All right, so we got Kinlaw here. Quinnen on right here. And take a look at this gap, right? Again, this is not what you really want to see too much. You don't want these huge gaps. Although there are 5 offensive linemen, which is what you typically see pre-snap here in a formation. This is what you really see most of the time here in the modern NFL. But take a look at what happens to this gap. So you have, I think that's Quincy coming down. This was a screenplay. You have Quincy being able to run down, and then that frees up. Where is he? There he is. Yeah. So that frees up. Oh, let's go back. Kinlaw. That frees up Kinlaw to be able to make that tackle.
Facts. Quincy forced him back inside, and that's what you want to do in that scenario, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just a really good play by Kinlaw there as well to be able to make that tackle. All right, so right here we're going to take a look at Sherwood again. I keep saying Sherwood's name a lot. This guy is just playing lights out. I think at this point Mosley's not in the game, pretty sure. But just take a look at number 44, Sherwood right there, and hopefully it does another angle. There we go. Take a look at Sherwood right here. Okay? Just watch him the whole way. He recognizes the run. Look at that that he just laid out for that the reach, man. He just laid out for that tackle, and from last week, we were not able to do any of that stuff. We were not able to make tackles, even like normal tackles, let alone a tackle like that.
Yep.
So, it was really vital for us to be able to have him be able to step up in this game, man. It was so important, and he did a great job. All right, so here this next play is going to be the block punt. Irv Charles, you're going to see right here at the bottom of your screen. You got Irv Charles. He's going to go in, get right by the defender there.
Mm-hmm.
or the blocker, and he goes in and he makes a fantastic play.
Let's see.
Here's another angle there. Number 19, Irv Charles on your right. Just runs right by him. Bam, that is beautiful. I would love to see a few more of those throughout the year, man. That'd be nice.
You know what? And let me just take a moment, because I don't know if it was our show or the Friday show last week, but actually mentioned, listen, this Titans team against the Chicago Bears week 1, they threw a pick 6 and they got a punt blocked. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then boom, we did both in this game. I think it was really what the defense kind of needed in the special teams to get some confidence back, man. It was a get right game, if you ask me.
Yeah, man, for sure. And I want to give credit to Brant Boyer. He's been with this team for so long. It's kind of like, he's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving, man. Like he's such a good coach. He's able to pick up on that of what the Titans haven't been able to do, or what they did in week 1, and we were able to exploit that in week 2, which is phenomenal.
Love it.
And I hope we can do that to a few more teams there throughout the season. All right, so this next play here is the let's see here. This is going to be a Quincy Williams play. So number 56 here, Quincy Williams. This is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying I was surprised that CJ Mosley was still on the team, to be honest with you. I was surprised when we restructured him, because I thought Quincy Williams is ready to be the middle linebacker here. And this showcases it. Take a look at what he does. He's in the middle. He recognizes it. Boom. He just goes up and he makes the play there.
I love the drive that he put into Pollard there, man.
Yeah, man. He's a punisher. Nice. I love Quincy. Quincy is so good, man. All right, so this is the next play, right? Yeah, so this next play, this is the what everyone was freaking out about, the Sauce Gardner and his game. Sauce Gardner, let me preface it with this. Sauce Gardner did not have his best game, but man, when you set the bar so high in terms of your level of gameplay, and you have one off game or one game where you're not playing like an all-pro against someone in Calvin Ridley, who is also a Pro Bowler, it just really tells you a lot about how good of a player you are. So right here, take a look at the bottom of your screen. You're going to see Sauce Gardner pick up Calvin Ridley here, and what you notice is everybody's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out, oh my gosh, Sauce Gardner, he sucks. He's so overrated. He allowed Calvin Ridley to get that touchdown. But I want you guys to notice what he does.
Dude, also, can we just talk about the cameraman fooling all of America into thinking Chuck Clark caught that ball?
Yeah, it's funny. I thought exactly. All of America thought Chuck Clark caught the ball. Sauce Gardner thought he caught the ball. And that's exactly what Sauce Gardner is doing here, okay?
Yeah.
This is the same guy. You got to remember here, Sauce Gardner is very selfless, right? This is the same dude that in high school, he intercepted a ball, and then he gave it to his teammate to let him run it back for a touchdown. So this is what Sauce Gardner does. He recognized that Chuck Clark was coming over, and what he was trying to do here was he was trying to take Ridley out of the play. So he held up a little bit, tried to take Ridley out of the play so that Chuck Clark can make the interception. But obviously that didn't happen, right?
Dude,
Calvin Ridley caught it.
That ball was a magic bullet. I swear. There was one path it could go in, and it did. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It might be a hot take, but I feel like Chuck Clark has been one step off of so many plays, and I'm talking about some of the Ridley ones where it was Eccles and Clark bracketing him and it winding up. Dude, he's been one play off, one step off, and I think if he can correct that's the rust factor. If he can correct that, he's gonna pick this off if it's week 12. That's my hot take.
For sure. So what I want you to do here.
Look at that.
So look at that. So right here, if you were to tell me, right, first and foremost, I don't want anyone saying that Sauce Gardner had terrible coverage here. You could not cover someone
No.
any better than this right here. Okay, for number one. Now Chuck Clark should have caught this ball, and again, like you were saying, he's only like one step off. But look at this. You have Chuck Clark right here. You have Calvin Ridley here, and you have Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner was allowing his teammate to make that play. But Chuck Clark was just, look at that, like a half a step too late. Just a half a step too late. Look at that. That ball is pretty much just went right through Chuck Clark's hands into Ridley's hands. That is just insane. That is just crazy. So again, the people that are saying that Sauce Gardner got burned on that play, he sucks. You got to watch the tape, man. You got to see what's going on. So that play right there, Sauce Gardner did well. He was trying to get his buddy to get that interception there. It didn't happen. It is what it is, right? But again, Chuck Clark, hopefully he's able to kind of fix. Hopefully it's just the rust and he's able to fix that. And the next few games, hopefully he'll be able to do better, right? Yeah. So this is the last play of on the defensive side here, and then we're going to get into the offense. I want you to take a look at Will McDonald here on the top of your screen in terms of the defensive line, right? Look at that spin move. Okay, so the sack is the next play. But as you see, he forced that ball, the pressure, which, by the way, I think even though it doesn't look like we are, but I think we're like number 5 right now in terms of quarterback pressures, which is crazy. But look at that spin move, man. This dude is just relentless. His motor is crazy. And he forced Levis.
Yeah, he upset that dude. Levis, he definitely had to shift and throw that like off platform if you watch him.
Right. Just look at that, man. That like the talent level is there. Now we don't have the clip for it, but then the very next play, Will McDonald was able to get his 3rd sack of the day, which is phenomenal. So, do you have any questions in terms of the defense or?
No. What I would like to add a footnote is that Levis fumble play that Will McDonald got a sack on. They actually in the middle of the week they took it off of him. It's so stupid.
Okay, yeah.
But, I mean, dude, he still gets to 10, like you said. I think.
Yeah, I think he's definitely getting to 10 for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let me just.
As far as the defense. Dude, as far as the defense as a whole, though, I definitely think that what we were looking for coming into this game was we were looking for an improvement, right? Hold on one sec. Let me switch some stuff around for the offense. We were looking for an improvement, and I think we definitely got it. I think we got a bigger stride from week 1 to week 2 than I thought we were going to.
For sure.
I thought it would take us a strong month to get back to normal. At this rate, dude, it might be Thursday or it'll be the next game.
I think it's going to be Thursday. I think even though we it's the Patriots, it's our division rivals here. I think this is going to be the breakout game. I think this is like the game where we play together. How everything comes together and we play how we're supposed to play the entirety of the last 2 games. I really do think that we're gonna be playing well.
Let me bring up the footage here. Let's see. I'll go to this.
And it's actually good that we're talking about the offense because I'm gonna show you, Dano. I'm gonna show you why I think Thursday is gonna be why.
Look at that segue. Look at that segue.
Yep. All right. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to roll.
All right. So let's talk about something here in terms of, the not so good things when it comes to the offense, right? Because there are pros and cons. Let's take a look at this play. And Dano, I want to ask you what you notice about this play here. Like what happens here? What are kind of like your thoughts of this play as a whole?
Can you roll it again?
Yep, sure can. Here it is right here again.
Yeah. Let's see it from this. I love this angle the best.
Yeah, this angle is nice. The only thing
Ha
is you
ha
just can't see the.
ha. There. I think I saw what you were referring to on that one. You know,
Okay.
I semi roasted a guy last
Mhm.
week, and I think that while he wasn't perfect in this game, I think this play alone goes a long way toward
Mhm.
combating the roast job that I gave him last week. But take a look at our right guard here. Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
let's see the
destroyed
other
that dude.
dude.
Oh
The
yeah, see the other
Madden
angle. Yeah.
angle. The Madden angle
Yeah,
is the
let's see
best.
the Madden angle. There you go. That wasn't exactly what I was looking for. However,
I got you.
it is a highlight though for ABT for sure. He just like completely bullied him. But the biggest takeaway here, what I want to show you guys is we have time. Even though Rodgers got sacked there, he was holding the ball for far too long. And what I want you guys to notice here is he looks at Garrett, right? Garrett's right here. He's going to take a look at Garrett. And you see how he double clutched that? He wanted to throw it to Garrett,
Yep.
but it seemed like he hesitated too much. Obviously, this guy was going to be coming in. But
Hospital ball.
if Garrett, yeah, if let's take a look at Rodgers. So Rodgers is in the motion right now, in his throwing motion. If he lets that ball go, pumps it to Garrett, Garrett probably has, a good 5 to 7 yard catch right there, right?
True.
Now, I want you to take a look next to Garrett. Who is that boy next to Garrett here on the bottom of the screen? That's Breece Hall, okay? I want you to take a look at Breece Hall right here and watch what happens. Let me get rid of this thing here. Okay. So Breece Hall, if Rodgers takes a look at Breece Hall, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You think
Breece
this
Hall,
is the play that tipped off Breece for later?
It possibly could. It possibly could have been. Now this play was obviously would have been dead by then. But if Rodgers kind of trusted his offensive line, he had plenty of time. If he kept with his first read and took a peek at Breece Hall, that could have been a touchdown right there that he just missed.
Agreed.
All right.
And that
or
sack,
at the very worst,
would you call that sack just a coverage sack?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, this was not on Morgan Moses there. He did his job primarily. It's just Rodgers was holding on to the ball for far too long. And I think Rodgers realized that. I don't think that slam right there with the ball was him getting mad at the line. I think that was just him being like, damn, like what, I need to get that ball out faster. Like he should know better. Right.
Good point.
And I think he's going to, he's obviously he's shaking off some rust there, especially being out for a year. Same thing with the whole Chuck Clark thing. It's taken him a little bit longer to kind of, get in the rhythm there. All right. So this very next play here is kind of very similar. And you're going to look at the top of the screen here with Garrett Wilson. Just take a look at him. Right there. So you have Aaron. Look at this pocket. Holy cow, dude!
I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what that is.
We have not seen a pocket like this in so long, dude. Look at that. There's no one even near Rodgers.
Dude,
I think this was either a 5 to 7 drop. Now, I don't know what Rodgers is looking at, but clearly Garrett Wilson is wide open. Like this ball should have been out by now. And,
yes, it should have.
We have this safety here, the single high safety. Garrett Wilson may not have scored a touchdown, but he damn near would have been, very close to it.
He gets in the red zone for sure on this. Throw it now.
Yeah,
throw it.
I don't know why Rodgers was taking long on some of these plays, man. But he's just got to be quicker. And I know he's going to fix it.
Time.
But yeah, he'll get back to game speed. And by the way, with the whole time clocking thing with the clock almost delay of games constantly needs to get cleaned up too, which I think it's going to. But again, Rodgers just needs to be able to process a little bit faster, which he's historically known to do.
Yep.
And this offensive line is giving him time to be able to make these plays. So for those of you who are saying, Garrett Wilson was locked down the entire game, that's just not true. He was open quite a few plays, and this play just shows you right there. He could have very well had a touchdown or close to it on this play. It's just that Rodgers just didn't see him or didn't trust it. The trajectory there. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, good.
Let's take a
This
look
angle.
at this angle. I think it's the same play.
Yeah, what maybe his read was elsewhere, but dude, he's looking
Like
right
it
at
looks
him.
like he's staring right at him.
I don't know
what the
where
hell?
does he throw it, or he just waits.
He does like a little check down, kind of like a. It's so unfortunate. Like you can have these huge plays, right?
I see why you're confident
and again,
for Thursday, though. I do.
Yeah, and we're gonna. There are more, Dano. There are more plays that we're gonna go over. Like look at this one right here, right? Look at the offensive line. Look at the time. Like look, this dude. No one's even near Rodgers. No one is even near him. And I know we were just nitpicking about him not getting it out fast enough, but this play, it's like he got it out too fast. It seems like, but you do have Conklin up here at the top. No one's near him. This was the right call. This is the right read here to throw to him. And then Conklin was able to get a first down, which was big. But that time, man, look at this offensive line. This is just a thing of beauty. This offensive line is fantastic. For sure. Conklin, yeah, man. He's going to have a pretty good year. I wish they target him more.
We'll get there.
But yeah, this next play, Dano, is what I want you to focus on is Braylon Allen, right? In the backfield here, what really got me on this play is this is kind of like the formation a lot of what I wanted to see last year when we had Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. And we're finally doing it with our two young guys here, and Braylon Allen and Breece Hall on the field at the same time. As much as Hackett has sucked over the last year with us, this play right here, I don't know if this was a Hackett play or a Rodgers play, but this play right here should make a lot of Jets fans extremely happy. Let's take a look at what happens here. So we got Breece Hall motioning out to the right, okay? And then you have Braylon Allen going to the left. So it's kind of like the defense is like, what the hell? Like, what should we do? We got one guy going out to the right in Breece Hall, who is a dynamic threat. We should be covering him. And then you got freaking Braylon Allen going the other direction. So it's like, what do we do? Do we go after Breece or do we go after Braylon Allen? So it looked like we faked it. It was going to be, look at it. Rodgers fakes it to Breece to the right, and then he chucks it to the left to Allen. And look at this. Look at this thing of beauty. Phenomenal. And again, Dano, we were just talking. Let's see who did that block right there for Allen on the left side. Let's take a look at who did that really nice block for him. Who was it? Okay, maybe it was a different play, but Garrett, who is not big at all, was able to kind of make that block there.
Dude,
for Allen.
Especially when you got the, I don't know, what do you call it, split back formation. Not just doing that, but being able to send them to separate sides. I can only imagine the stress on the defense if you're a middle linebacker, or I forget who I heard talk about this yesterday, but they said in this game, the defense in that scenario would lean Breece. However,
for sure,
after this performance, and maybe you don't, change it all the way drastically, but now you have to watch Allen. You have to.
For sure.
If he gets a head of steam on you, you're screwed.
Yeah, man, and it's like Aaron Rodgers is so smart. He can essentially kind of see which way that most of the defenders are going. Like, if Breece Hall is going to the right and Allen's going to the left, and he sees most of the guys going toward Breece, well, guess what? He's able to kind of flip that to Allen right there.
Straight.
Or let's say they kind of split off and most of the defenders go towards both of them. Well, now guess what? We have Garrett Wilson available there in the middle, singled up or in the middle of the field there. So, we have so many tools. And then we're forgetting about Corley here. Corley is also one of those guys who can do a lot of damage too, which I think should be coming on in the next few weeks, I think. So let's go over. This is going to be a Breece Hall run, inside zone to the right. You got Breece Hall in the backfield. And just take a look at this run here. Take a look at the blocking. It's phenomenal.
Dude, his false step when he's up to full speed. Like, can you roll that one? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
He does this little, like, weird thing with his legs that makes him look like he's right. That like stutter step, and I don't know. I don't know if he does it all the time, but when he does that, like, I don't know if he's about to, like, he's maybe gonna switch gears, maybe, but bro, when he's in open field, he is an asset like none other, man.
For sure, and also this is the play that I was talking about, in terms of Conklin and Rucker. Obviously, we all know Rucker is primarily a blocking tight end. But Conklin is putting in some work here too.
Yes, he is. Just enough. That's all that matters.
Just enough,
work. Yep.
It's actually good that he didn't keep the block too long because he didn't want to get a holding penalty.
Good point.
All right. So this next play here, Dano, is the. Oh, let's see. Okay, this play right here kind of ticked me off in particular, because I wish that it would have been someone else getting this target. But what we're going to see here, we're going to see the top of the screen right here. Oh, no, this is the Breece Hall touchdown, actually. Sorry. The next play is the other one. So, yeah, let's take a look right here. We'll roll the tape back. Again, this guy right here, Breece Hall, man, is just such a great athlete that he is able to line out at wide receiver. In fact, I knew that this clip was coming up, and I completely forgot that he was lined up out wide, this wide. So he's up here at the top of the screen, and he's going to take the linebacker one-on-one and just run right by him. Kind of like that one play. Remember, Dano, in the very first play of the game, like he ran right by him? The same exact thing happened here. He ran right by him and was able to jump up for that touchdown.
Now, and when I said that earlier, he was on a DB was on him, but I still think that he just likes that idea. You know what? And I said this the other night. Now, I might be reading too much into it, but I think that when we, as a nation, watched the Eagles in primetime week 1, we all saw Saquon Barkley do a similar play, man. And he won on a go ball, and Breece can do that. Breece actually even tweeted about that play, and I can show it after we're done here. But, dude, I just think that as a receiver, he is really coming along nice.
For sure. Yeah, man, it's great to have him, man, as a weapon, as a receiving threat and as a rushing threat there.
Facts.
So this play right here is the one I was talking about before. So you're gonna see right here Rucker in the slot, okay? And this is the 2-point conversion. So we just scored a touchdown, and we're trying a 2-point conversion here. You had Rucker in the slot. He goes up, and for whatever reason, like I don't know if that was just a miscommunication from Rodgers of the placement, but I just feel like we should have had either Conklin or like someone else, Lazard, Mike Williams even, be the guy for this play. I like Ruckert a lot, but it's just you want your guys who are proven already, the guys that you trust the most. Not saying that Ruckert isn't trustworthy or anything, but you really want those guys who have proven, like a Mike Williams who is coming back, or maybe like a Conklin in that for that play right there. But
you know what? Maybe get Rucker. Give him a ball like that week 8 whenever we have everybody else in sync. You know what I mean? Just stall that experiment put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
I'm not saying abandon it, but like we have Mike Williams. You already mentioned Corley. We got to get involved.
Yep.
Everybody's forgetting about Isaiah Davis, who, if you ask me, out of the backfield is going to be great for our screen game. So like we have all these
I can see it.
guys. You mentioned how many weapons. Like not only that, a lot of our guys are matchup nightmare kind of tweener body skill sets. Hard for a linebacker, a load for a DB. So
Right.
Rucker, just chill for a little bit. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, guys. So this next play, I want you to take a look at Garrett Wilson here. This is going to be an end around to Garrett Wilson. He's going to be coming down, and he does a pretty good job. He does a good job. He's fast. He's quick. But this is one of the plays I was talking about, Dano, where as good as as much as I love Garrett Wilson and what he does and his skill set, I think this is why we drafted Malachi Corley. I think a play like this should be for Malachi Corley. I think he should be in the game. I think he should be the one running these plays.
I think so too. I don't
now
even know that I want Garrett like slamming up in there like that. And that first
right,
guy,
exactly.
that first guy could have got him. I think this was like, I feel like it was like a 3rd and 5, and Garrett got like 5.5.
Yeah.
But like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that first guy coming in, I'm like, oh shit, we're punting. But Garrett got, you know what? Got just enough. And again, just like the Conklin block, just do enough, and I like it. I'll take it.
Yeah, so let's see who missed the block here. Was it Conklin? I think it
was. It?
So that's a good point. If the run is going to be to the right, why is Conklin going so far to the left?
Because it's a reverse?
Oh, it's a fake to haul. It's a fake to haul. That's why. Okay, so Conklin, Lazard is I guess Lazard is going to be targeting him, but Conklin's just taking Conklin runs right by the freaking, what is he doing?
Oh, yeah.
Conklin just runs right by him, which is fine because the defender missed, I guess. But still.
That's a good point. Like, I would like to see it from the other angle and see how close those guys were, but like,
I guess Conklin wouldn't have been able to make this block though, too. So I guess it is what it is. But good thing he missed. But just for the record, I would rather have Corley be on this play than Garrett Wilson.
Same.
But I'm just nitpicking. We did have a gain there. All right, so this next play here is going to be Garrett Wilson actually being wide open. So top of the screen, look at that. Garrett is so funny, man.
I did not see that, dude. When I cut this up, I thought you were just highlighting Lazard, like.
Finally making a catch.
That. Yes.
Yeah. So again, this is another one of those nitpicking plays, right? But they definitely saw this in the film room. But you see, Garrett Wilson's open right here. Now, is he going to score a touchdown? Probably not, because you have this safety right here. But he would get a much bigger gain. And Garrett's funny, man. Like he is so vocal. Like he is going to show you that he's pissed. Like, watch what he does. He recognizes. He jumps up. He's like, "Damn it!" Like you can tell that dude was pissed. I think this is the same play.
So animated. I love that.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to see Garrett. You'll be able to see him. Yeah, like look at Garrett over here. No one's even near him. He's all pissed off, which is fine.
His DB jumped on the short route, and like for one, I don't know why. What he saw in Rodgers that told, because they're on the same trajectory. But Garrett's going to be cooking guys. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, so for sure. And actually the time is right now because he's able to – I think he must have told Rodgers, I'm like, listen, dude, like I'm open most of the time here. Let's get me the ball. And he's able to kind of shake free, get open. And it's almost that was such a similar play to the last one too. What were you going to say?
I'm just wondering, like, when Garrett's facing the sideline on this one, do you think that he is feigning like I don't know what you call a flag route or something, like the corner? Is he trying to get that? Is he trying to get the DB to think that he's going to the sideline before he does the switcheroo on him midair?
Here, let me try to pull this back a little bit.
Okay. You're looking
Also,
good.
as you see, Rogers checked out of this play. I didn't even notice that until now. Rogers looked like they were going to run another play, and he actually checked out of the play. So he noticed something pre-snap. All right, so here's Wilson. Let's see. Let's back up a little bit here. Let's back up. All right, so you were saying, Dano, okay, you're saying right here, like it looked like he was going toward his left. Is that what you're saying?
Hold on. It's no, keep going a little. When he gets out to like the 40, like
Okay,
this
like
right here, he's fake. Like it feels like he's trying to get like he's obviously he gets that DB spun around.
I see
But
what
I'm
you're
just
saying. Yep.
wondering, was it intentional, or was it just because of the ball placement?
Yeah, I want to say this route was designed to be an out route like this. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, obviously, I don't know 100%, but my guess is it was designed to be like that. But the connection between Rogers and Garrett, I think Garrett realized, or Rogers threw it up, and Garrett realized that what's it called, that the ball wasn't going to be, obviously there was going to be up the field a little bit more, or like you said, it could have been that he was just trying to get the DB to think that it was going to be an out, and then just run up the field more.
Dude, I mean, either way is awesome, but if it was intentional, dude, that's a masterclass.
Yeah, that is elite right there. Let's just go with that. Let's say that he did that on purpose to get the DB. I like that a lot better.
VR, welcome, brother. He's giving us a shout out. Nice to see some real Jets talk so early in the morning. Good to have you, man. Wild Wave joining us. Welcome. I also saw Allison in here. Good to have her. We talked to her the other night on a call-in, and she told us that she's formerly a Packer fan, but now she's an Aaron Rodgers fan. So good to have her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hayes,
that's awesome.
Hayes, welcome. You're awesome. But yeah, dude, this has been great so far. I know we're winding down. We got a couple plays left, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. Smash the like button. This is going to be brought to you weekly by Mike and I for as many of the weeks as we can. We'll see how it goes. But dude, I think Mike over here is crushing it so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got a good host right here.
Hey, we got good film too. Good film.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so Daniel, there's only 2 more plays left, so we can wrap it up real quick. But this next play here is going to be not like the sexiest play in the world, but it's going to be a play where the player in particular, we haven't had someone like him in quite a while, right? And that's Mike Williams. So he's coming back from injury. You're going to see him on the top of your screen there, and he just jumps over the defender there for that 50-50 ball and makes that play.
Second and 16 too, so that was clutch.
Yeah. So we were able to get the first down, I believe, there. And look at that. Dude, that is something. And this is what I was talking about earlier.
Man, the placement. I love it.
we never, we haven't had a quarterback make a throw like that in so long, man. And again, about the Rucker play, like this is who you should have had on that Rucker play, in my opinion, on the 2-point conversion. And listen, I know Mike Williams isn't the healthiest right now, but on those situations, you got to get this dude in the game. Like this is his bread and butter,
Facts.
So this right here is my favorite run of the day, and this is how we're going to cap it off. This is going to be a run. Take a look at the running back here, Braylon Allen, and just take a look at him, man. Look at him. He is just so fast, elusive, makes good decisions there, puts his head down and just runs. He's got great vision.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's got great vision. Look at the blocking too.
Dude, I don't know how he got around that safety.
I mean, his speed is so deceptive. Like, I mean, he's not the fastest back in the world, but it's to be that big and to be that fast should be illegal. Like this dude, he's gonna be a problem in the NFL, man. He's gonna be a problem for sure.
I love that pairing. I was a little worried because I think he had maybe 9 fumbles in college over like 600 carries. So I'm like, oh, here we go. But I have not heard a single breath of him putting the ball on the mat all summer. Like,
Yeah,
so I don't know. Maybe it was a technique thing or whatever it is working. Just keep doing it because he is a bull.
for sure, man. I think remember last year, or was it last year or the year before? Hackett was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that Brees Hall can really catch the ball like that," or something to that
Yeah.
effect. It's like, dude, that's one of his like biggest things he does. This is kind of like, holy crap, Braylon Allen is coming on a lot faster than we thought. So me in particular, I would have liked to see Brees Hall get like 80% of the snaps, and then Allen get 10 to 15% of the snaps, and then we have Isaiah Davis get the other like 5%. But now the fact that Allen is coming on so fast, like I want to see Brees Hall like 60%, Allen like 35% at this
You know
point.
what? I would like to shout out Jamal Adams because him putting a helmet on Brees's thigh caused
Yeah,
us to have to spell him. And who knows, dude? We might have been looking at a press conference week 8 where Hackett's telling us that he didn't know Braylon Allen could run the ball.
exactly,
So hey, dude,
exactly.
it forced our hand, and now you
Yeah,
cannot deny that he deserves some touches.
yeah, for sure. Like
And
he's definitely earned the playing time.
I I see what you're saying with the 80-20. I just it depends on how much we're running the ball because I expected us to be more dominant run blocking team, and so
Mhm.
far it's been the opposite. We've been a
It's
dominant
been the
pass
opposite.
blocking.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I
like
agree.
I was hoping for like 500 carries and out of 500 Braylon Allen to get like 150, which would be like 8 carries a game. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know that we get up there, so um, we'll see. I just before I know though, I got to see Brees be effective between the tackles. He really hasn't been much. He's been running a
Yeah,
lot of
that
off tackle. Can you speak to that at all?
I completely agree with you, man. You hit it on the head. I don't want to see Brees Hall running. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like he can definitely run between the tackles, but I think that's going to be Braylon Allen's like real bread and butter there. Um, I would run him. I would
Yeah.
run Braylon Allen on the halfback, the inside zones, and then I would run Hall on the outside slash screens. Get them on the field at the same time. And one thing further I want to talk about too is I want to see 6 offensive line sets here because I think Fashanu would be ready to step in right now to play left tackle or right tackle.
Good
So
point.
why not have him on the field, kind of take out Conklin or take out Rucker and stick Fashanu on the right side or the left side and kind of be that extra, big boy up front and
That would be
get the run
great.
game going even more.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't have
That's
to
a
be every play, but
no, no. No, but I do think we could stand a shakeup too in the running game. At least when, I mean, let's see what happens when we have a lead. We haven't
yeah,
really had one, not one that we could like
true,
defend. You know what I mean? Um,
true, yeah,
maybe that's an idea though. Like
yep.
we said it, our pass blocking's been great. We get up on a team, then hey, one of you guys that haven't been awesome in the run game, take a breather. You know, it's a long season.
For sure. For
Here's a
sure.
question from the chat. Is Braylon Allen gonna vulture some Brees Hall touchdowns in goal line? What do you think of that from question from the
Um,
411 on New York Sports? Great channel, by the way. Sub it up.
I don't think I don't think like vulturing is, I want to use the term vulturing. I would just kind of put my, offensive coordinator cap on here and say, what gets us the best chance to score on this play, right? Or to get to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. Let's say we're on the goal line and we need 1 yard. I would not put Brees Hall out there if we're trying to get 1 yard. If we have a healthy Braylon Allen who can do the job better on the 1 yard line. Now, unless we're faking it and let's say Braylon Allen's out there. Here's one even better. We can even fake it to Braylon Allen, send Breece Hall out on a little, like check and release and kind of catch the ball out of the backfield and go in for the touchdown. But I want to say he's going to be vulturing Breece Allen snaps. I think they both have two very particular skill sets. They complement each other perfectly, by the way. And I would be using him on goal line. I would be using Braylon Allen on goal lines more so now than Breece Hall.
You know what? And just a fun fact for you. Saleh spoke this week about Allen, and he mentioned that, they expected it out of him, like this level of success, because not his last year in college. That was good. But he said 2 years prior. That system's a lot like ours, and he looked dominant in that. So if you ever get bored, go back 2 years ago to Badger football, and you'll see a lot more of what Allen can bring to the table, it sounds like.
Definitely.
Yeti, good morning, brother.
Yeah, NY Sports, he had a good comment there again. So, again, the whole Breece Hall and Braylon Allen there at the same time, you want to see that. You want to see that a lot. And you're going to be sacrificing.
We did see a little bit of it.
We did.
It wasn't that game winner on a split back scenario.
Was it the game winner?
The Braylon.
I think it was. I think it was
might
a
have been
previous
the one
score.
Before that. Yeah.
But either way, you want to see that. It's something good you want to see, right?
Still haven't seen
Hackett
Davis
just has
yet,
to be able to. Yeah, Davis should be coming on pretty soon here. We have the weapons, man. I want to be able to see a lot more. And again, like I said before, I think this game on Thursday is going to be the game where we kind of see where who we are, and we're going to be clicking on all cylinders, because so far we have not been clicking the entirety of a football game.
And I'll tell you this: Christian Gonzalez has been spotty so far this year. He definitely I don't know. I saw some stuff in the offseason. He could be a defensive player of the year candidate. And dude, I'm not seeing that. So we can exploit it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. And their offensive line is just in shambles right now. They might be without two or three of their starting offensive linemen, and their offensive lineman hasn't even been very good this year so far. So
good call.
We should definitely fix a lot of our issues on defense this game. And we just went over the tape for offense, even though we scored 24 points, but there were so many yards left out on that field against Tennessee that we just saw. I think this is the game where we finally start clicking. Rodgers is going to be processing faster, I think. And I think we're going to be able to gel a lot better, especially when it comes to the running game. And I think, or at least hopefully Hackett knows what we have now in both Breece and Braylon to be able to kind of, go off their skill sets and be able to get do a lot of damage and get a lot of yards.
Great way to say that. Just a couple chat things I want to get to before we wrap. Wild Wave. I don't know if you've heard, you probably have, but I heard that the corners were on track to start. Mosley, not so much. Would you sit Reed and MC2? I know you're probably sitting Mosley with me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely sitting Mosley. And
10 days afterward,
I would,
Yeah,
if any of these guys are healthy, which we all know the whole Robert Saleh situation with the injury stuff. Like if he says that someone's healthy, then they're probably going on IR, So
facts.
You got to take whatever he says with a grain of salt when it comes to injuries. If let's say Reed and Michael Carter is banged up and they're not 100% and they're like 70%, I would just say at least sit one of them. There's no point of trying to rush them back on a short week on a Thursday Night Football and get them, have them have some catastrophic injury and they're out for the season, because Eccles did a fantastic job there on the outside this past week. So I think Eccles would be able to do a good job. on Thursday night. And by the way, the Patriots are only averaging like 127 yards passing per game, right? So if this is the week to kind of sit those corners, this is not going to be a big passing attack from the Patriots. This is going to be, hey, can we force the ball on you? Can you stop the run? This is something that we have to do. We have to be able to stop the run here. I think Stevenson and the Patriots are averaging something like 180 yards rushing per game, and that's kind of like our Achilles heel or our kryptonite. So we got to make sure that we're stopping the run there. I'm not too worried about our corners.
You know what? And I did watch a little bit of that Patriots and Seahawks game, and the one thing I came away with it, the one thing that I brought from that game is that Antonio Gibson is still a player. You got Steven. I'm not so worried about Stevenson. He's a little more of like a bruising style. Like, I think we can handle him. Gibson has a little bit of a spark to him, so we just need to be able to hold our contains and stuff like that, get off our blocks, But you're right. They have to beat us with the run game, I think. They have to.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett doesn't really scare me too much, but man, we just have to sell out the run. I don't want to. If I see those damn gaps this game, I want to be so pissed. We got to get rid of the stupid gaps. We got, like I said during
cinch it up,
the tape,
cinch it up,
and bring those linebackers up a little bit. Stop having them be 5-7 yards off the ball. Get those freaking linebackers up toward the ball. We have the corners to be able to stop the pass. And even if one of those guys are out or both are out, I trust our guys to come in and make plays. Stiggers had a great, we drafted him. He was like the MVP of the Canadian Football League last year. Stiggers had a great summer training camp. So maybe we'll be able to get to see him. I don't know if both of our corners are out.
JBC,
we'll
maybe?
Come on. Yeah, Bernard Converse there. So we'll see what happens. But the biggest thing here is we have to stop the run, and hopefully we're able to do that.
I love it, dude. Mike, I think we hit our sweet spot, man. A good 90 minutes, perfect. We got some people filing in. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please go back and watch this though, because we got some great plays picked out. Mike went through them beautifully. Love this, man. Talk about the week 1 to the week 2 improvement of the Jets. I think we just pulled off the same trajectory of improvement from 1 week. So, dude, compliments to you. You did excellent today. Any final words before we depart?
No, man. I just want to say, as a fan of the show, I really appreciate you having me on. I love being able to talk football, especially the Jets. Again, this is like my one and only love in terms of sports. But yeah, man, I'm just super pumped up for this season. And listen, Jet fans, like, it's been a long time coming. And I think we're really going to be able to finally see, us making the playoffs, going deep into the playoffs, and being able to do some damage here. So I really do think that this is our time. I think this is going to be the year that we finally make a statement, and kind of finally get that monkey off our back in terms of not making the playoffs.
Love it. Well, dude, appreciate having you. We'll do this again next week sometime, someday. I do like these mornings, so guys in the chat, guys over on Twitter, I see you watching us too. We'll see you next week, right?
Absolutely. See you next week. Later. JETS, Jets.